Hello everyone and welcome to Dropkick from CommsKick, where I drop in online and share a few free handy tips and tricks to improve your small or medium businesses, marketing and PR. So let's get started today. So today I want to talk to you about Instagram saves. I decided to do this because I've heard so many small businesses and people that just use Instagram personally say it's a function they don't use, it's something they've never even heard of, yet it's going to, and it already does, have a massive impact on how Instagram decides how many people see your post and how it features across the platform. So let's get started. So first of all, just a quick summary of what I mean by the Instagram algorithm for those of you that aren't sure. So an algorithm on Instagram just measures everyone's content and post, and the way it works is that it determines how good that content is and whether to show it to more people, to show it to perhaps even the followers that you already have, and get it seen across the network more. So what you've got to think is Instagram want great content on their platform to keep people there for longer. Your content might not even be getting shown to your followers if people just aren't interacting with it, aren't engaging with it. So Instagram's algorithm measures all these things to determine whether what you've posted is good content, and if it thinks it is, it'll keep showing it to more and more people. So how does it do this? Well, it measures things like the likes your post has already got, the comments it's got, if it's been shared, if it's a video, how much it's been viewed, and also how many times it's been saved by users. Now, this isn't the only way the algorithm determines how good your content is, but it's a really big part of how the platform works. So you need to get on top of it if creating all this content is going to be worthwhile and going to get seen by people. So that last point I made about saves is so important. It's pretty passive to just like a post, but to go to the effort of actually saving a post means somebody really liked what you were saying or putting out there. So it's really, really good for you as a business to see what's working well for your audience and your target market too. So let's take a look at how saves work. So I can be scrolling through Instagram, maybe I'm on the homepage, maybe I'm on Explore, and when I come to a post that I like, just having a look here, oh yes, so I see this and maybe I'm looking for some new windows. So on the bottom right you see like a bookmark symbol, but just under the picture. If you click on that, it'll turn black and it'll just save. However, you can click on it and up comes save to collection, and you can see I've started collecting some different posts and categorizing them here. So I've popped that in my home inspo collection. Then when you're on your own profile, you can go to the menu in the top right, click saved, and up comes all the posts you've saved and the different collections you filed them into, and you can see the post there now in home inspo. So I've got that now to look at however I need to. So now you understand how saves work and why someone might save something, let's look at what you can do with your content to encourage more saves of what you put on Instagram. So first of all, why don't you think about some interesting facts for your target market or in your sector that you could share on Instagram? Something people will want to remember and save for later to maybe tell their friends or colleagues about. This might work if you've got a product where your target market is parents, for example. You could perhaps share some interesting facts about early years development that a parent might want to save to tell their partner when they get home that night, or save because they've got a birthday coming up and they want to think about products or things that they're going to buy that might help that early years development. So have a think about these. Don't believe the myth that posts with words in them don't perform well. If you want to create a graphic that's got some text in it, it will still perform well. It's more about whether your audience find that text interesting and relevant to them. The second thing I want you to think about is longer captions. So I see a lot of people from sectors that aren't the fashion industry copying the fashion industry by just putting a few emojis and one sentence. Now, you can probably get away with that in the fashion industry, and maybe even to some extent the home industry, because it's such a visual industry, okay? People are looking for outfits, and if they see something they like, they might save it, comment on it, like it, regardless of what the caption says. But for the rest of us that don't work in that kind of visual industry and that kind of business to customer industry, that's not going to cut it, especially when saves are becoming more important. So think of Instagram as a place where every so often, maybe once a week, you can even do a bit of a microblog on your Instagram post. You know, something that your audience are going to find really interesting, but maybe not have time to read all in one go. They can click save and come back to it later that evening, or maybe even later that week. So for example, if you're a catering company, could you post a recipe? If you're a business that makes something, could you demonstrate how you do something, or how people can get into your craft themselves at home, and then put a few instructions on the caption? So there's loads and loads of ways to make your captions more interesting and a bit longer. And they don't all need to be how-tos. Perhaps you just want to talk a bit more about your experience of something. Do it on Instagram and encourage people to find out a bit more about your business that way. The other thing you need to think about is, and I just kind of alluded to it, the timelessness of your post. Could you put something up or a few things up that people are going to want to keep coming back to? So for example, if you're a personal trainer, could you put a workout session up on Instagram that people could save and then keep doing over and over again? Could you create a checklist that your target market might find really useful? For example, if you're an interiors product company, could you create a moving house checklist that people are going to save and come back to time and time again? It's currently autumn here and it's back to school. A couple of weeks ago, it would have been great to see people with family target markets doing a back to school checklist. That definitely would have got saved, and it would have performed really well on Instagram. And of course, once one post does really well, Instagram algorithms see it as your content's liked by that person, so it'll start showing more of your content to that person. So it's not just a short-term win by working in this way. Finally, you need to tell or remind your audience to save your post. As I said at the start, so many people in my region especially don't even know this function exists. So first of all, share this video, but also we call this in marketing a call to action. So you see this all the time as a person just going about your business. You might see an advert and then it'll say sale ends Sunday, so get in store quick. That's a call to action. You might read about an event and it ends with book now, visit X, Y, and Z. That's a call to action. So end some of your posts with a call to action to save the post. I'm not saying end every single post like this. It might not be, you know, that's going to make Instagram a bit of a boring place to be and people are going to get sick of reading it. But when you've gone to the trouble of creating content specifically for this purpose, tell your audience that and get them to save it. Maybe even suggest a collection they could create that they could save it to. A great example of this is YouTuber and online influencer Louise Pentland's recent post about networking. She created a vlog with networking tips, sharing that she did get a bit anxious before going to networking events. And in the post linking to the vlog, she has told her audience, make sure you save this post so that next time you go to an event, you can refer back to it. That's a great example of encompassing all the tips here today. You know, it's pretty long caption, it's got timeless content that people might want to use again and again on it, it's got a call to action to save it. So go and take a look. So that's it. I hope you found that really helpful. If you have, please comment below, share this and follow me at CommsKick on Instagram. And if you create some content as a result of this that performs well, I'd love to hear about it. Contact me in all the different ways that are linked below. Thanks, bye.